Welcome to the JD Fix, your quick fix hub for smarter JDs and better hiring. Our episodes will cover before and after job posting rewrites, using AI tools to create better job postings faster, scaling consistency and cutting the chaos through templating, compliance checks to keep your job ads clear, fair, and risk-free, plus trends and best practices to stay ahead in JD writing. I'm Heather Fenty. Whether you're an HR pro, recruiter, or hiring manager, I'll help you write better job posts fast. No junk, just 15-minute or less episodes packed with helpful tips. Subscribe now, and let's fix your JDs one post at a time. Have you ever read a job description that made you blink twice and say, wait, did that just say we're looking for an American accent? Yeah, same. In today's JD Fix, we're breaking down a role that's raising red flags for tone, audience assumptions, and a few head scratchers and expectations. Stay tuned. Welcome to the JD Fix, the show where we pull back the curtain on job descriptions that confuse, amaze, or just plain miss the mark, and figure out how to make them better. I'm your host, Heather Fenty from OnGig. Today, I'm joined by Sarah Akita, one of our writers here at OnGig. She brought me a job ad recently that had her scratching her head, and we knew we had to break it down with you. Welcome, Sarah.
It's great to be here.
Thanks. So I have some questions for you. Just want to get, honest opinions, your reactions. When you first saw this job description, what really stood out or shocked you the most?
I was honestly surprised by how informal and unpolished parts of it felt, especially the use of the acronym opener. There wasn't any context for that. And particularly the line about we're looking for an American accent. That raised serious inclusion concerns for me.
Yeah, so let's talk about that accent line. What are the risks of saying something like that in a public job ad, legally or from a brand perspective?
Well, it's a big risk. Asking for a specific accent, especially American, could be seen as discrimination. And it excludes tons of qualified candidates. It also signals a very narrow view of who's welcome in the role.
Yes, I agree, 100%. Another thing I noticed is it flips between corporate language and very casual or informal lines like be good with people, especially rural people. What kind of message does that send to candidates?
It gives off a disorganized vibe. The JD lacks consistency, and that can make candidates question the professionalism of the company itself. It also stereotypes rural communities in a way that feels patronizing.
Yeah, when I read that, I said, whoa, interesting. Not sure about this one. Never seen that before. Okay, so let's talk about let's talk about the role itself. So it's called appointment setter, but there's a lot of salesy language, overcoming objections, handling leads. Is this a sales job in disguise, do you think?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I thought when I read it as well. It feels like they're trying to attract support staff, but actually want frontline sales reps. And this misalignment can lead to poor hires.
Right. Okay, so now let's unpack the acronym. They list opener as a requirement. So optimistic, persistent, engaging, nimble, empathetic, resilient. Is that clever branding or confusing buzzwords?
Well, it's an attempt at branding, but personally, I think it's missed because there's no explanation or context. Acronyms like that need a purpose and proper setup. Otherwise, it's just going to feel gimmicky and leave people confused.
Yeah, totally. We actually, with our platform text analyzer at OnGig, we can actually flag confusing acronyms. So some of our clients actually have that feature turned on where they can go in, and if there's something that doesn't make sense, even, acronyms that might be used in certain departments and not others, it flags it and gives an explanation. So whoever's writing the job descriptions or job postings can decide if they want to actually spell it out or give more context.
Yeah, I think that's really valid. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I used an acronym that to me was very well used, but she wasn't aware of it. And I think in job
Right.
descriptions or any sort of corporate posting, it's best to be clear.
Agreed. 100%. Okay, so back to the interesting job description that we're talking about here. If you had 5 minutes to fix this job post before it went live again, what would you change first?
Well, first thing I do is remove the accent request. Then I would align the title with the actual responsibilities, tighten up that tone, and replace vague, fluffy sections with clear requirements. And I'd also scrap the acronym or explain it better.
Love it. Clearer, more inclusive, and grounded in reality. That's what we're all about here at the JD Fix. Thanks again to Sarah for joining us, and thank you for tuning in to the JD Fix. If you've spotted a job description that makes you cringe or clap, send it our way. We might just feature it in a future episode. And remember, every word in a job description sends a signal. So make sure yours is saying what you actually mean. Catch you next time, and happy hiring.